So, good evening to everyone, and welcome to another live AMA session with us here in Huobi UK. Really appreciate everyone making the time to join us this evening. My name is Ronald, and I'll be your host this evening. And as you all know, we have a very special guest. We have the co founder and managing partner of Nexo, Kalin. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. I hope you're very well this evening.
I am Ronald, and thank you, of course, for organizing this AMA session and for having me on it. As you're aware, and I guess many of the participants tonight, Nexo has been working with Huobi for over 2 years now. Obviously, a very productive collaboration from our standpoint, and I will be very happy to answer your questions tonight and provide all the information that would be helpful to your exchange users so that we can continue working very well together going forward.
Wonderful. We have a number of Nexo users and fans of the project within our community. And as you know, over the past week, we've reached out to them, asking them to submit some of their questions that they have in mind. So before we begin looking at these questions, for those who aren't familiar, would you kindly give us a very short introduction about Nexo and what it's all about?
Sure, absolutely. Nexo is one of the leading provider of comprehensive financial services in the blockchain space, and more particularly in the lending sector. What started in 2018 as our core business, as a lending platform, very quickly expanded into the provision of additional services, such as also our Earn product. We very quickly went into the provision of over-the-counter trading services to many of our corporate and institutional clients. And what we are in the process of completing very quickly towards the end of this year is to have, this custodial wallet as an integrated platform for all of our users, whether they're small individual traders, large corporations, institutional customers, to be able to store their assets on our platform, to borrow, lend against them, to make payments, and in an integrated fashion also to move assets on our exchange platform where they have the ability to swap across various cryptocurrencies and to execute orders in an advanced fashion. Especially for our institutional viewers, I would like to remind once again that we started rolling out during this quarter our prime brokerage platform, which enables advanced trading capabilities, advanced order placement functions, and this is once again all integrated in a one-stop type of a solution for borrowing, earning, and trading.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for the introduction. I'll just jump right straight into the questions as we have quite a number of them to run through. So bear with me. Let me just pull them up real quickly. And all right, brilliant. So first question that we have here, what inspired you to create Nexo, and what are the roadmaps for this project in the coming years?
Well, this is a very good question. What inspires business founders in general? There's obviously a pronounced need, something that we detected is requested by users in the market. We were very excited in 2017, early 2018 about the capabilities that the blockchain space provides. And coming from corporate finance, lending automation background, we were thinking very hard how we can use these capabilities to offer services to users in the space that own cryptocurrency assets and want to have greater usability of them. the most pronounced need that we detected at that time was that many of them wanted to unlock the value of these cryptocurrencies, but without selling them. So what we did was created a platform that enabled people in a fully automated fashion to come to our platform, store their assets, borrow against those assets, and enjoy once again the wealth that is stored in them, but without again disposing of their assets, so that they can enjoy the long-term price appreciation over time.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now, so Nexo, as a platform, is not the only one currently doing this within the space. What distinguishes Nexo from all the other competitors within this DeFi projects in the crypto space? Like, what's its unique selling point against the others?
Well, I think that to answer this question, we probably need to break it in two parts and differentiate between centralized finance and decentralized finance. So the typical acronyms, CeFi and DeFi solutions. I believe what differentiates us in this on the CeFi sort of part of the equation is our profound experience with finance, with lending and lending automation. We have been doing this for years before we even established Nexo, and as I mentioned earlier, used this track record and our capabilities to create a platform that we continue to believe would be the optimal solution for current and new users. These available capabilities allowed us to come up with an early solution that users coming to the CeFi space can use very productively, and allows us once again to provide something in an integrated fashion on a fully automated basis. That's something that helps us as a service provider. It helps also our operating process. It enables us to run at a positive operating margin and continue growing and providing better and greater services over time. Now, you also alluded to the DeFi space, which is something that obviously has created a lot of innovation, a lot of new and modern solutions, and that's obviously a space that fascinates us. So we follow it very closely, and we try to explore the opportunities that are arising in that space. What I believe, however, still at this point in time, is that the DeFi space is more suited for more advanced users, those that are more technologically capable, and in our opinion, this is a sort of relatively smaller subset of the total cryptocurrency sector population. So we believe that, at least again for the time being, for the foreseeable future, the way we work with our customers on a centralized fashion would enable us to bring the next let's say 10 million, the next 50 million users into the crypto space, whereas again DeFi being as innovative as it is probably suited for a much smaller subset of those more technologically advanced users. So we continue focusing on the provision of our services on a centralized fashion, but at the same time aim to exploit as much of the ingenuity and innovation coming from the DeFi space.
Brilliant. So next step, the next question we have is regarding Nexo Wallet itself with its Visa and Mastercard integration. Now that has been quite revolutionary. Like, this is a multi-part question, really. What other convergences in the real world utility can we see from Nexo to support the new wave of consumerism and widespread use of cryptocurrency? And does Nexo have future plans to partner with physical exchange offices like ATMs, for example?
I mean, obviously, everybody, every service provider in the blockchain space tries to come up with a service that is demanded by customers and can be universally used to satisfy various financial needs. Otherwise, you just have, a project that, has some sort of a long-term future potential, but it is, still, we're still to see this potential delivered. Our thought process here is very simple. We want to have one platform, one solution for our customers to be able to come and use something similar to what they would use their banking, let's say, online banking platforms together with their brokerage, brokerage accounts, together with, combined with savings account, combined with the functionality of using a card, to make the payment. So, as opposed to going to various providers, and basically juggling all these needs and these capabilities, we would like for our users to feel comfortable using all of them just, by accessing the Nexo platform. So these are the kind of questions we ask ourselves on a daily basis: how we can enrich this platform experience, so that people can store assets, make payment with these assets. We're seeing, recently that a lot of famous people, including politicians, are saying that they are starting to prefer receiving their monthly compensation in crypto.
Yeah.
We see, obviously, the
In
mayor
New York
of
recently.
Miami and New York, most recently. So, we in the future we see, people receiving, let's say, their remuneration on Nexo's platform, making payments, with crypto, and whether it's direct transfers or through the card, borrowing against those assets once again, so that they don't have to sell them in the short term, storing them on our platform to earn current yield, and of course, as I said, last but not least, an integrated trading fashion that we plan to transcend beyond the cryptocurrency space and gain access to traditional capital markets.
Brilliant. And I think we definitely have a follow-up question on that to come. Now, the next question is regards to banking licenses. Will there be a banking license in the coming month so that Nexo tokens could be traded in other ways other than spot?
This is a question we get asked quite often. And yes, this is definitely, first of all, it has been on our roadmap since day one when we established Nexo. It obviously continues to make perfect sense to have a commercial banking license so that we can complement the existing capabilities and expand them on a new level. What this obviously would allow us is to have the perfect combination between a banking account, a brokerage account, and and obviously a trading account in the cryptocurrency space. All delivered through one custodian wallet with all the requisite level of protection that our customers expect now and obviously in the future. So we're working on this. Obviously, we're working on securing commercial banking licenses in various jurisdictions. You and all of our listeners and viewers this evening are aware that there is obviously a complicated regulatory situation and compliance related issues at the moment. We're working very actively with various regulators around the world. We try to be productive counterparties, for discussions, for education, and for guidance on how this regulation should be put in place so that it protects the users, but at the same time doesn't hinder the innovation and the solutions that we can provide. So yes, we're obviously looking forward to it. I believe that we're in advanced stage in at least 2 jurisdictions, and we look forward to completing these efforts so that we can unlock even greater capabilities for our users on the platform.
It sounds like you guys are really doing a lot of stuff at the same time. Now, when it comes to the exchanges, is there a plan to transform into an exchange at some point in the future?
Well, I think that providing an optimal exchange platform is something that is the core business of providers such as Huobi. And for the moment, we intend to continue relying on our partners providing this kind of competence and expertise. Obviously, despite our ideas and things that we have in our pipeline, there's only 24 hours a day to develop all of them, and we're firm believers that if we start pursuing ideas in too many different directions, that leads to our losing focus. Our efforts are being dispersed, and we prefer to stick to things that we know very well, that we can perform very well, so that obviously the quality of the service that we provide is up to our customers and our own expectations. So as far as going out there and developing direct exchange capabilities, this isn't something that we have on our mind at the moment. Rather, as it has been the case with borrowing, lending, and setting up the platform so far, we prefer to take existing capabilities, upgrade them, and create some sort of a higher level on top of them. So what we're doing as far as trading and exchange capabilities are concerned at the moment, we are actually integrating existing capabilities provided by exchanges such as Huobi on our prime brokerage platform, so that we actually gain optimal trading access on our platform by integrating an order book from a number of exchanges. We have obviously aggregated order placement capabilities, and we believe that this is something that we can add as a value, as opposed to trying to come up with let's say a better exchange, where we believe, as I said, Huobi and other exchanges have these core competencies. We would lose focus to try to compete with.
So you already covered a little bit about the next question as well, with regards to the expansion of Nexo. Where do we see Nexo expanding its business divisions, a little bit more into a sub-company, into maybe the DeFi sector, or what you said about the orders, possibly the blockchain sector? Is there anything that you can share with us there?
Well, you're right. In the previous questions, we covered some of these aspects. So obviously, number one, you alluded to it. That's obviously our planned commercial banking capabilities. Because that allows, this would obviously allow people to use something that we internally call a bank account on steroids. It would allow people to use a lot of services that are currently unavailable at their traditional banks, whether because of the current interest rate environment, but also because a lot of the traditional banks just don't have this sufficient fintech layer that we bring to the table. In addition to that is the advanced trading capabilities, once again integrated on this platform, so people don't have to go and change and move across various providers. It's so easy. You log into our platform and you have these capabilities at your hand, immediately there. The DeFi space, it's something that fascinates us. But we still, in a very similar fashion, believe that it would be too time consuming and too sort of focus dispersing if we go and try to compete head to head with some of the obviously already established and prominent DeFi service providers. So one of the solutions that we have, so that we have access to this subset of the blockchain space, is through direct investments. We support and we fund a lot of promising projects and companies with obviously with funding, with money. But at the same time, for us, what is of extreme importance is that those are projects that have a strategic alignment with our core business, so that we can provide liquidity, we can provide cross-selling opportunities, we can add users to each other, and that helps both of our companies grow. So the focus there once again is that we participate indirectly, and we can work in an optimal way with capable teams and capable companies that can allow us to achieve this type of growth more effectively.
Sounds good. That's great. So this next question actually is a very interesting one, because it's coming from a very different angle. But so this user was asking, would you ever be willing to look into the mortgage sector, saying, I think crypto holders only sell to buy the house, and many will miss out on the gains. Would this be something that you'll be exploring? I don't think many people have looked at this area yet.
We are already looking at the mortgage sector, and have been looking at that sector for quite a while. You might, those of us that know us and have been following us closer for years are aware that we were actually the first lender in the blockchain space that extended a loan backed by cryptocurrencies for a very well-known client, to actually acquire, to acquire real estate, and our capabilities always are centered and revolve around the use of the blockchain capabilities that we rely on. So we have no intention of trying to compete with traditional brick and mortar banks, that obviously are strong in their local markets and know how to value and how to lend against just the real estate itself. But clearly we'll be interested in lending against cryptocurrencies for the sake of acquisition of real estate. Again, we have been doing it, for a while. There's obviously a very large number of real estate purchases that we have funded this way. In addition to that, there's also the aspect of tokenization of real estate. We're very, very strong believers in that. And not only of tokenization of real estate, but tokenization of any assets. It can be fine art, it can be wines, it can be gold, it can be anything that can be tokenized and could achieve a significantly large enough market capitalization and sufficient liquidity and daily average turnover. We would be very interested in financing, in providing funding against the tokens that represent this particular asset on the blockchain.
You actually just stepped into the next question I was going to ask. Since Facebook's announcement about the Metaverse, what's Nexo's view on this? And is there any plan to support the Metaverse on Nexo in the future? So I guess looking at tokenization of assets, this is the first step in this direction. Would you care to share your views on the Metaverse?
Absolutely. I mean, the Metaverse, in our opinion, is a very, very exciting, prospect. This is sort of the next level, or the ultimate level, actually, of what all of us service providers in this space want to achieve. Um, Again, those of our viewers at the moment, that have followed Nexo since the days of our token sale would remember that lending against any type of tokenized assets, again, not just tokenized real estate or anything else, but also we've been talking as early as those first days of our existence about lending against digitized assets, lending against avatars, against items that gamers have in their beloved games. So the metaverse, in our opinion, is sort of the ultimate unifying factor against all these individual efforts. So we hope that the technology and the regulatory infrastructure, of course, will grow fast enough and would allow us to see Nexo as one of the, let's say, banking providers in this metaverse. So new and younger generations especially, that feel very comfortably using and relying on services in this space, can just go into the space and have their trusted Nexo wallet with them during that experience, store assets, and again, not just stable coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, fiat currencies, but a number of digitized assets, and use them across various social platforms, games, and experience, so that this sort of integrated digital life is something that starts to feel and look more and more like what we have in our everyday lives, but at the convenience of at our fingertips in the blockchain space.
Brilliant. There's so much things to look forward to. It's quite exciting, particularly in the metaverse space, and definitely want to help drive mass adoption into the space here. The next question, it's an interesting one for us particularly. Huobi for me is the best exchange to buy Nexo. How can you intensify the cooperation between Nexo and Huobi?
I assume this question is coming from an individual user on
Yeah.
Huobi's exchange, because most of our corporate and institutional customers are well aware that there is a deeper collaboration behind the scene. Yes, we listed the Nexo token on Huobi actually a little over a couple of years ago, and we have been very happy with this decision. But very quickly after the listing itself, where obviously, as you pointed out, users can just perform spot trades with the Nexo token. Our team started working closely together. There have been institutional wholesale type of liquidity provision, coming from Nexo against collateral of cryptocurrencies that Nexo can provide. There have been institutional swaps offering one particular currency against another, something that resembles very quickly let's say banks or financial institutions interacting with each other in the institutional space, in the intra-bank market, for example. So the collaboration is definitely there. And I believe that with these new capabilities, that we were just discussing in the earlier part of this conversation, whether it's the DeFi space, NFTs, the Metaverse again, once again as the ultimate goal, I believe that all of these new frontiers are unlocking new potential for collaboration, based on the already successful track record and close interaction between our teams. So we definitely look forward to it, and of course, are willing to accept recommendations from our users and from Huobi's users how we can achieve this in a more effective way.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, thank you for that. It's very good to hear. Definitely from our end as well. We really love working with you guys, and hopefully this cooperation will continue for a long time to come. The next question. Now, this is a fun one. Do you actually find it easier to teach your kids, the younger generation people, about crypto versus some adults who are set in the traditional ways?
It is an interesting question, and yes, my experience is that it is to a large degree it is easier to teach young children and young people in general, how to use services. Well, even the notion here, teach them, I'm not sure is even properly used, because a lot of these young people adopt these kind of services just very, very naturally. I mean, they use mobile devices, they use blockchain solutions, even some of these more advanced ones, very, very naturally. And there is very little to teach there. So sometimes even we as a service provider need to devote additional time, more concentrated efforts to catch up with some of the capabilities that young people have already developed and expect from us. So I'm one of the sort of more senior people on Nexo's team in terms of age. And for me, sometimes it is a bit of a challenge to catch up with some of the things. For example, how to run, let's say, DeFi capabilities, by connecting a ledger to MetaMask, for example,
Mhm.
and then moving assets around. So yes, absolutely, I truly believe that it is easier for young people. But again, one of the most important things that we think about and we always aim to achieve is to make sure that the way we provide our services, it's not just teaching, it's not just basically educating people, but it's also providing these services in an easy and frictionless manner, so that even those let's say more senior people in their even in an advanced stage of their life can use Nexo services with a similar degree of ease,
Mhm.
in comparison to, again, what our younger users will, obviously inevitably have as their competitive edge. But so we don't, we definitely don't want to have a situation where we differentiate the user experience on our platform by, let's say, technological capabilities. We
Mm.
want to make it, easy, straightforward, and simple, so that no matter the age, no matter the technological background, you have, again, a comprehensive set of financial services at your fingertips.
Brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Well, thank you very much. I think that's all we have for this evening. Any final notes that you'd like to share with the audience tonight, Kalin?
Well, thank you once again, Ronald. I mean, these have been very interesting questions, and of course, I look forward to continuing this collaboration between our companies, between our users. So again, please, if you have any customer feedback, any solutions for us, we're very interested in listening to this feedback and improving our service, our product suite. Those of you that have had, obviously, that are, let's say, Huobi users, haven't had any experience with Nexo, I would, urge you, just visit, nexo.io, open a wallet. It's very simple. It doesn't cost you anything. It's secure, and just try these, try the services that we provide. Again, there is a very strong collaborative link with Huobi itself. It will be, helping both of our companies grow. And last but not least, from a from a customer experience standpoint, it would allow us, to hear more and more opinions, to hear more and more suggestions. And, given what is obviously technologically, possible, something that we can add to our development pipeline, we would be, again, it's our goal, it's our aim to improve our services in terms of scope and also in terms of quality. So,
Brilliant.
it's
Yeah, I
a
think
continuous process.
brilliant. Absolutely. I think we'll definitely be able to post the link as well in the chat and give it a pin so that people will know exactly where to go, where to sign up. And yeah, thank you so much for your time again this evening, Kalin. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, I hope to catch you again in one of the coming events.
Likewise, Ronald, we look forward to it as well.
Thank you. All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend ahead.